You wanna go to the parky? Alright, let's go to the parky. What's up, YouTube? My name is Will. This here is Enzo. We are headed to the park right now. But we do have a couple car-related things to do today when we get back. So excited. Probably gonna go to the bathroom because he's so excited. Oh, good boy, go potty. In. Oh, good boy. Good boy. So the first issue is the FJ. Somehow, it's got this massive scratch on the bumper, and it could only be caused by something hitting it. And I don't think it was a car. I'm thinking maybe a shopping cart or something. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm really baffled how this scratch came to be. And it's like all the way down here too. And what's confusing is, I know we're like the only ones at the park right now, but like that's where we're parked, away from everything, nowhere near the entrance. And that's how I park everywhere I go. I mean, there's obviously those instances where you have no choice and you have to park next to other cars, but I haven't had any of those recently, so I don't know. And certainly not at like Kroger's or Target or anything, so I don't know. I'm really confused. I think it's gonna buff out, so that's the good news. Still just super confusing how that happened. Find something good, buddy? We will see if we can get that out when we get home from the park. Other news, the Evo. I did get word this morning that they've taken the head off. They've looked at everything. There's no lower motor damage or anything like that. So that's great news. It's actually only cost me about 50 bucks to fix the main issue. Now, that's rethreading the spark plug essentially. There's going to be other costs, obviously the labor to take the head off and put it back on and all that good stuff. Also going to do a freshen up of like the valves and put new springs in while it's off per their suggestion. I don't have a total cost yet, but I'm thinking with the labor, with the springs, probably, I don't know, new gasket, obviously new plugs, oil change, you know, all that little stuff together. I'm saying we're probably gonna be floating around $1,000 when it's all said and done. It'll have a freshened up head and the peace of mind knowing that there's no motor damage. You know, it's been inspected, everything's good. Versus I could have paid like $300 to $400 and had it rethreaded while it was still on the car, but I wouldn't have had that knowledge. I've been about maybe 90–95% confident in the motor from what you can do from the outside in testing and looking. And obviously I wouldn't have had the freshened valves and springs. So I think it's well worth the extra costs for the peace of mind and the durability. It's getting hot, buddy. That's the other thing with coming later. 30 in the 80s. And the humidity is just ridiculous, so it feels way warmer. Easily feels 100+ degrees right now. Normally we do at least a mile. Right now we're at about a half a mile. I don't know. He's doing okay. We might do one more quick partial lap or something. Heading back to the car. So I guess we're not. He's heading back to the car on his own, so that's gonna do it. So it's a little over half a mile. 4 laps is a mile here, but we were doing longer laps, so I don't know, we probably did like 0.6, maybe 0.65 mile. So it's just too hot, huh, buddy? Plus it's starting to rain. You can see those clouds. Just too much? Yeah. Just too much, buddy. Ready to go home? Yeah. So we're behind this Jeep Wrangler, and I don't know if it's a kit or maybe this is the new ones, but the front end looks so different. The back end kind of looks different too. too, but it's got like a little dealership thing down by the handle, so I know that's not a kit. Obviously, they wouldn't put that back on. Let's see if I can get in front of it again. Yeah, not crazy different, but it definitely looks like softer. And I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean like the edging is like got a bit of a roundness to it. Wow, buddy, you were thirsty. I didn't even start recording for several seconds. And we're mopping the floor. And I guess cleaning your bed. All the energies are gone. You're just wiped out now. Boop. You don't care. Passed out. Oh, you heard me. Doing all right here, buddy? That ball just too exciting? Yeah, just too much. Oh, you see that airplane. No, I didn't just change clothes randomly, and we are at a different park because it is a few days later. Actually, I had some stuff come up with work, and then it rained for like a day or something, so we're gonna kind of pick up where we left off. But first we had to go to a park, and since it's Friday and I had promised Enzo that we'd go somewhere fun today, we were at a different park. Did you find your ball? You found it? You doing all right there, buddy? I don't know that he really cares that much, but there is quite a view. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, let's get working on the FJ. Guess you're ready to go back to the car? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think that would work, but worth a shot. But you can see the scratch really well now. Yeah, no problem, buddy. All right, so we're gonna start this out as easy as possible, just by hand. Use some ultimate compound. We'll see what kind of results we get. If we don't have to get the machine out, we won't. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but basically like right here, it's still pretty bad through here, but up here is looking, you can hardly even see that one. It's funny, some of the spots you can hardly see on the camera, and then some of the spots actually look worse on the camera, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, this spot here is virtually gone, which is good because that would be next to impossible to get the machine on anyways. This spot here is, I mean, it's way less noticeable, but still pretty decent. I don't know how well that's, again, I don't know how well that's really gonna show. It's basically like right through here though. And that actually is the worst spot it looks like, but all this up here is, it's virtually gone. Yeah, I can see this spot on the camera, and on the camera it looks really noticeable for some reason, but in actuality, I can hardly see that with my eyes. This, though, seems to be coming through pretty true with what it actually looks like. All right, so basically I gotta decide, do I need something stronger or do I need the machine or both? I think I'm gonna try the machine with this first. Because I'm gonna use the machine, I'm definitely gonna have to clean the rest of this bumper. I did just kind of clean the area I was working on, but I don't want it to be like going around and slinging dirt or anything, so we have to do that real quick. We'll just get some waterless real quick. This is actually one of the products that I have that I use that isn't chemical, guys, despite the bottle. It's Uber waterless wash. It's not that I don't like the chemical guys waterless, I like this a little bit better. It seems to come off a little cleaner, and I love the price. The price is just so much more economical. When you're doing like waterless washes, you know, you definitely want to spray on the safe side, I feel like, because this is your lubricant against scratches. And when you can buy this stuff at such a cheaper rate, you know, because you dilute it, I just feel better that I can just kind of go a little crazy and spray it down. This also doesn't have any waxes or sealants in it, really, which is nice, so you don't have to go back through and buff it out. That stuff is helpful at times, and there are times when I do like that about the chemical guys one, but there's also a lot of times where I don't. A lot of times I do waterless as a time save when my cars aren't that dirty, so I don't want to go back around it and then buff them. You know, that kind of defeats the purpose of the time save at that point. But if you lived in an area where it had to do with water and stuff, I could definitely see where that would be helpful. Alright. Now we got one clean bumper on the entire car. Go on. Alright, I'm not going to use too aggressive of a pad. You know, it's always better to start easier. You can always go more aggressive if need be. And this is just distilled water. Normally I'd put more than this on the pad, what I'm about to do. Just a couple of dots, but it's only because I'm doing this one little spot. Better, but we might have to go with a more aggressive pad. So, alright, well, we tried. Alright, more aggressive pad, water again, and just a little bit of product. Pretty good. I mean, it's still there faintly, but I don't really want to go more aggressive, because if I go more aggressive with like a compound, then I'm gonna have to do a polish, like multi-step, and for such a small little imperfection at this point, I'm just not willing to do that. And if I did do that, you know, good stuff about the Meguiar's that makes it so nice is it finishes like a polish, so you don't have to do any extra steps. Whereas if I start using the multi-steps, then I'm gonna, at the very minimum, need to do this whole piece to make it look right, or at least for me, it drive me crazy. I mean, it's already kind of bothered me a little bit to the point where I'm probably gonna do the rest of this bumper. I don't know. I'm really trying to not let it bother me, because I'm gonna do the whole car, and that's the thing too, I should mention, is I'm gonna do this whole car with a multi-step probably, Well, I'm doing the whole car. I'm assuming it's going to take a multi-step as soon as the Evo comes back. So I haven't figured out how I'm getting it in the garage yet. I want to take the roof rack off. One, I think it needs to come off to get in the garage, but two, I want to be able to do the roof really well, and that's so hard with that roof rack. And I think that might be enough to get it in the garage. If not, I'll let some air out of the tires. FYI, if you go to let air out of your tires, make sure that you have a compressor that you can put the air back in. Otherwise, because even if you live pretty close to a gas station or something, you really don't want to drive on really low tires. It's just really bad. It builds up a lot of heat. It's just not worth it. So there you have it. Give you guys a closer look. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see, but basically the part that still kind of shows is right there a little bit. Most of this up here is gone. I mean, if I look really close, and the worst part is like right here, and then just a little bit through there. So I'm happy with that though. I mean, if I have to get this close to see it, especially right now, knowing that I'm gonna do some more work on the car here soon. So I think we're gonna leave it with that. I'm pretty happy with that result. I am going to re-wash the rest of this. All right, let's wash this real quick, get all this off. It's the same towel as before, so we're just gonna flip it. The other thing I really could do is I could put a little glaze in here, which would help fill it, but like I said, I'm really not that concerned with it. But we will do a spray sealant real quick. So I used this for the first time on the front end of the Focus the other day, and I really liked it. Something though tells me that either this is a really old product of Chemical Guys, or I just got a really old bottle because it's got the old style labels. I haven't seen these in a while, so I was a little surprised by that. If you've never used a spray sealant, I had never used a true spray sealant. I'd used like waterless washes type things that have sealant in them. So I was a little taken back. This is basically just true sealant. I don't know how well it's going to hold up yet. You know, I just did the first batch, but that's already probably too much. Like, no joke. Like I said, I had the waterless wash mentality, so I kind of sprayed it down pretty good and then wiped it and basically made the entire hood of the Focus white when it hazed. It hazes quickly too, and it's going to haze even faster probably right now. The sun on it. So that's the other thing. You really shouldn't do this in the sun, but it's such a small area. All right, I'd probably let this go a little bit longer, but again, the sun is kind of behind a cloud right now, but still I don't like it being on too long in the sun. The other thing too is if you're mindful about how you fold your towels, this is the same towel I was using for the compound, and really all I have to do, I don't even have to turn it this much, but I'm gonna go ahead and just flip it inside out. That way you're not burning through towels at an alarming rate if you don't have to. Yeah, I should mention the other reason I don't want to go too crazy on this. This has been painted. They weren't originally black, and I don't know who did the paint work. I mean, it looks really well. However, it makes me cautious about going too aggressive, you know, and then ending up burning through it or something. You can get the paint tools, the thickness tools in check. You know, I could do that, I suppose, but other than that, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I'm already sweating from being out here for such a short period. I know Buddy's looks pretty warm over there. As always, appreciate you guys watching. Please subscribe if you haven't to follow along with the FJ, the Evo, which will be coming back soon here. I'm gonna do a full update video on that, on the costs and everything that it took to fix that. Instagram for myself and Enzo. Still has the most followers. Yeah. People like you better. I know. You're cooler. I don't blame them. Anyways, as always, appreciate it. Like if that's your thing, and you guys have a pleasant weekend as it is Friday. Right, buddy? Oh, and in the next video, I will be going to drive my dad's 79 Mustang Cobra. It's a survivor car. It's all original. It's got 22,000 miles. It's like 95% original. So definitely stay tuned for that. I know it's Mustang material. Some of you may or may not. Still an older survivor type car, so it's cool. Let's go inside, buddy. Yeah? Yeah, it's too hot. Let's go. Come on.